Hey there, Luke Newcomer with the Newcomer Group. We're exceeding your expectation is our standard. And listen, our team has been finding so much success over the years. And what better person to put the spotlight on today is Tayler McInturff. She's been with the Newcomer Group for 4 years now.
4 years.
She's sold over 140 homes throughout her career on the team and over $50 million in real estate. This year alone, she's on pace to sell over 50 homes and more than $20 million in real estate. And I can tell you, working with Tayler over the years, her and I growing together, this is a pivotal year. And all of the work that she's put in over the last 4 years is like the perfect image of what's happening today. So
Thank
Tayler,
you.
long-winded introduction. Tell us
Yeah.
again who you are, where you're from, all that kind of fun stuff, and we'll dive into this interview about your
Sure.
success.
So Tayler McInturff, I grew up in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, moved to St. Augustine, really never wanted to leave after that.
Go Saints.
Go Saints.
Flagler alumni.
Just fell in love with this area, so it just really made sense for me to start selling real estate here since I love it so much. See, I joined the team about 4 years ago. We were a much smaller operation at the time, very different. And I've just had a lot of fun growing with this team and seeing all the success that can be created on this team.
Definitely. And you are like the perfect ambassador for this brand,
Thank
the
you.
image that we want. The one thing about the Newcomer Group, I feel we've always kind of grown organically. You've personally been a great spokeswoman for our team as far as newer agents. They constantly reach out to you.
Yeah.
You're like the mentor for everyone that's been joining. They constantly come to you for deals, how to structure things, and you're
Right.
just a great voice of reason for everyone, myself included. So, amazing career. This year has been absolutely bananas.
Yes.
Super busy. We're coming into market that was more like 2017, 2018. What's different the last 6 months? What has been different for your business versus maybe what your first 2 years on this team look like?
A lot of repeat business. So
Okay.
a lot of referrals from past customers, a lot of people that I sold houses to a couple of years ago, coming back wanting to, cash in on the equity that they've gained over the last few years, really capitalize on their investment. So I've seen a lot of repeat business and then a lot of referrals from family, friends, past clients, everything. So
Just like constantly running the plays and then just seeing all that kind of
it's
stuff
been
pay off.
a lot of fun to, see
One
how it's
of-
grown.
That's cool. And I think that's really important, especially for maybe agents that don't want to join the team, want to do it themselves.
Right.
They don't realize that there's this huge compound effect that you've done over the years. And the one thing that, I've always wanted Taylor's business to look like, similar to what my business is we started with online leads heavily. I mean, you still crush
Yeah.
online leads. There's no reason to not
Definitely.
take your foot off the gas on that. But we got to, and I'm going to say we, because we both had similar paths where we crushed online leads for just 2 years straight, put our heads down, had a million conversations, met with a million people,
Yeah.
deals fall apart, dealt with some crazy people. But
Yes.
in all of that mess, you get to connect with some really awesome people.
Definitely.
And then you love on those awesome people, and those awesome people love back on you.
Definitely.
And now this year, what I'm seeing is what Taylor said is, you're getting more layup business.
Yeah.
You've got these better splits because it's business that you're personally generating. So you get to build this cool business, and then every year there's these new foundation and building blocks that you get to capitalize on, which I
Yeah.
think is super exciting.
Definitely.
So let me ask you this. What does your ideal buyer seller look like today? And you can't say all cash, $1 million
Yeah,
plus.
no.
Like,
Those are great,
But I
that's-
say who do you love working with? Like, what does that ideal client look like for you?
I love working with a buyer that's excited about the home buying process, that I can help educate on what it looks like. Somebody that's pre-approved, willing to talk to a local lender, and that just shares that same excitement that I'm going to bring to the table of helping them find that perfect match in a home.
I think that's exciting. And
Yeah.
I would say too, the conversations that you're having now versus when you first started, I feel like as newer agents, you just want to be so eager and willing to say yes to everything.
Right.
And you should. I definitely don't think you shouldn't do that. And I would almost say you should still do that today. But I notice that you're having more conversations that are on your terms, on your schedule, but also you're outlining strategies with them.
Right.
What does that look like?
So just having a little bit more, pointed questions at different times, just so I can really get down to what's important to this buyer. Let's not waste time looking at houses that in areas that aren't going to be a good fit.
Right.
You know, just learning some of those lessons throughout the years and just kind of, you know, narrowing it down so it's easier for everybody, because it can be a really stressful process. And the more certainty I can give a buyer,
Sure.
The more seamless the process seems to be, and the happier everybody is with the result.
So like 140 plus career home sales, you can definitely navigate the process.
Yes,
More
definitely.
faster, more efficiently for them, and also instill significant confidence in the process.
Right.
And it can get draining be doing it so much, but
Yes.
at the end of the day, it's like, if you understand what you're doing, it gets so much easier.
Yeah.
And I can say, I'm sure you can agree, as real estate agents, you know, we've been doing this day in and day out constantly,
Yeah.
like literally 7 days a week. It's a lifestyle. It gets so much easier the more you do it.
It does.
But you always have new challenges no matter
do.
where you are in your career. So what are like, you know, 4 years ago that challenge was just writing the offer or converting an appointment. What are your new challenges that you're experiencing?
Oh, that's such a hard question, because the challenges in this job change from deal to deal. I feel like I still learn so much every deal. I mean, of course, you've got those easy deals that are just layups, they're great. But then you have deals that you run into appraisal issues, you run into FHA issues, you
Insurance.
run into insurance has been a big thing recently. So you never know, and that's part of the reason I love this career so much, is because you just never know the challenges that you're going to face during that day to help that buyer or seller make it to the closing table.
The nice thing about you is you don't typically put your head in the sand and try to just assume that it solves itself. Constantly in the
Usually.
office. I mean, everybody's in the office in the mornings. We're all hearing about the deals that are going on. You're constantly spearheading it. You're calling the title company, you're calling the lender, you're calling the insurance company, you're calling the buyer or seller, and just taking the bull by the horns and getting it done.
Yeah.
And I think in every market, especially as we go into this more skill-based market, experience that you bring to the table, especially for buyers and especially sellers, is going to just be incredibly impactful. So I think we're going back to basics right now.
Yeah, we definitely are.
What do you think was some of the most important things that got you to where you are today as far as fundamentals in the business? Was it consistency on calls? Was it a routine? Like, what do you think that looks like? Because you are a mom of two. You live a busy life. You're building a house. You travel a lot. Like, I think most people from the outside looking in don't know how you manage it all.
Well, thank you. It's crazy, but it's fun. I think patience and persistence have been like my two like main builders, like factors that I've built my whole business on. It's like you have to make your calls, you have to stay persistent, and you have to be patient. And you can't, I'm not a pushy salesperson at all.
Right.
You have to be willing to work with people, figure out what's important to them, and then try to, you know, fit that for them.
And stay authentic.
And yeah.
That takes a lot of patience.
It does.
I mean, especially online leads, you know, if you were an agent before the pandemic, like yourself and myself, I mean, it could take 6 to 9 months to convert a sale. And I think we're coming back into that, so you definitely need to play the long game.
Stay in front of people. I mean, they will forget about you if you are not contacting them. Somebody else is calling them. That was one of the things that we used to always say. Like, if you're not calling them, somebody else is.
Exactly. So I think you've been just a great example setter for the team. Let's pretend that you're talking to someone that's getting into the business. Mm-hmm. I mean, what would be your number one advice to a newly licensed agent? They haven't decided a brokerage yet. What are you telling them?
You know, I would say find a team or find a mentor that you can really align your values with. Somebody that's going to have the same work ethic as you, somebody that's successful in this business already that you can kind of try to like model off of. Because if they're doing something right, you know, you're going to want to learn all the ins and outs of that.
Yeah.
I think our team does a really good job of taking on new people and kind of showing them the ropes. But yeah, just, you know, follow in somebody else's footsteps that has been successful, like, and try to, you know.
Don't recreate the wheel.
Right.
Just try to make it better.
Exactly.
And align. I mean, like.
And put your own spin on it.
I think our team is great. We're definitely not for everybody.
Right.
We've always grown organically, but that for me is like, whether it's the Newcomer group or maybe you're in a completely different state, go look up and see who's selling the most real estate.
Yeah.
And go buy them lunch or shadow them for free for 2 months. Try to learn as much as possible from somebody. And then if you can fit within that business model and make a name for yourself, because just because you join a team, it doesn't mean that it's the team. I mean, you have a huge name and brand behind the Newcomer group, and that took years. It took time with patience.
Exactly.
Just turned 30.
I did.
Building a house, you got 2 kids, married. You've had an amazing run the last 4 years, and it's not stopping. what are you paying attention to, the next 4 years? What does that look like for you? And I'm not saying, the whole crystal ball, but like, what do you want to focus on? I mean, it's not all about the sales and the volume.
It's not, but another reason why I love real estate so much is I really want to get into, investing more into real estate, building up some investment properties, building a portfolio, and it's exciting to build wealth through real estate, and I'm just lucky to work in the industry, so I know more ins and outs than, the average bear. But
and you've helped so many people do it, so it's exciting that you want to build it yourself.
Yeah, and it's so much fun to watch people's portfolios grow and to, myself help them with that, but then I also want to do that for, my family as well.
I love it. Tayler, awesome career. We can't thank you enough for being a part of this company. The partnership's been great.
It has been.
I want to find more people like Tayler to align with the Newcomer Group. And if you're interested in joining, contact us today. We want to share more success stories. We've got 9 other agents right now that have amazing stories, completely different than yours.
Yeah.
It's not a one size fits all. So Tayler, congratulations on the success.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you next time.